Welcome to the most listened to golf in the world, the Fairways of Life show, on air, online, and around the world, with the most candid interviews, unforgettable stories, taking you beyond the ropes. Here's your host, New York Times best-selling author, Matt Adams.
What is going on, folks? Welcome into the PXG Custom Studios. Our PXG Custom Studio, for me anyway, today is here in what's usually Dominic's space in North Carolina. He's sitting right over here next to me in Raleigh. This is our, we call this our secondary studio. This has about, I would say, 80% of the capacity of our main studio down in Orlando or in Studio 2 up at NBC Sports. I'm here because yesterday was golf's longest day, and I was assigned to Duke University. We're going to be talking about all of that as the program continues. We're also going to hear from Scottie Scheffler and Jack Nicklaus in this show to get your reaction to many things happening in the game of golf. But we're starting out today with something I'm totally pumped about. We have for you the newest major champion in the game of golf, Maja Stark, who won the 2025 U.S. Women's Open at Erin Hills. It's her first major championship. She's now a multiple-time winner on the LPGA Tour. She's won 6 times, in fact, on the LET. She was a member of the 2023 European Solheim Cup team. She's had 14 career top 10s. She comes from Sweden, and she played her college golf at Oklahoma State. She turned pro back in 2021. Pleasure to welcome Maja to the show. Maja, first of all, congratulations in the 36 hours since you were crowned the U.S. Women's Open champion. How is it settling upon you? How's life? How are you feeling?
I mean, I'm not even, it hasn't sunk in yet at all because there's just been so much to do and so many people. I mean, I'm in the process of sending messages back to people and thanking them for the messages. So, yeah, it's just been crazy.
How many would you venture to guess? How many, say, text messages did you receive so far?
Text messages, I think maybe 80. I think most of it was on Instagram. Uh, I think maybe 300, 400 messages in total.
Did you get any of the messages when you accomplished something of the scale that you did that surprised you? Like maybe somebody you didn't even realize that was following you and they reached out to say congratulations?
It was cool that Justin Rose, I heard that he was tweeting about it. Um, so that was because I didn't know, I don't know him personally, so it's cool that he cares so much. That surprised me.
Yeah, very, very cool indeed. When you had a moment, because it's hectic, I realize after you accomplished what you did, and you had a chance to call someone and say, "Hey, can you believe what just happened?" Who was that call to?
Um, I wanted to call my parents back, but there was just no time because I was being pulled in all different directions. So um, yesterday, I tried to call my Swedish coach because I was gonna do my like tournament evaluation with him, but he didn't pick up the phone. Uh, so yeah, but no, my American coach Joe, he called me at night when I had a second, and yeah, he was crying. It was cute.
That's amazing. How many tears have you shed yet, or have you not had that moment where you can kind of sit back and go, I can't believe what I just accomplished?
I haven't cried about that yet. Um, yeah, I could feel it on the plane yesterday because, it's just when you're bored on a plane, you have nothing to do. It's easy to start thinking, but I was just thought, no, not here. I'm gonna wait until I can just sit in private and do that. But then I got to the hotel and then I started, yeah, messaging people, and then we did some celebrations yesterday, so I still haven't really cried about it.
Amazing. Can you see the video that we're playing on the television right now? Who was attacking you with the champagne just for official purposes? I mean, obviously we know, but I want you to tell the world. And here's my question to that. When champagne goes in your eyes, does it sting?
That's why I turned away because I know that it's not a nice feeling. So yeah, Lynn and Ingrid, they were my national team teammates, and I've known them for so long and played a lot with them, and it was so fun that they were still there, and obviously they had a good championship as well. Um, but no, I have this great picture from when Lynn won an LAT in Sweden, and I just nail her straight in the face with the champagne, and I don't want that to happen to me, so I'm gonna turn around.
Lynn was the one that ratted you out. I don't remember if you remember this last time you were on with us. And she told us that as a roommate, that she's very neat and she keeps all her things sorted in the room, and that you open your bag and it just kind of like everything jumps out of it and goes all over the room into every corner. Do you deny this?
I do not. It's a little bit of a mess right now here, and you know, some habits just stick with you, you know.
Well, when you're the women's US Open champion, you could do whatever you want to at that. I want to go back to something that you just said a moment ago when you were talking about, in this case, you were bored on a plane and you have this time to think, but you held your stoic resolve. How were you able to stay so competitively stoic down the stretch at this US Women's Open? What method, what mindset were you employing so that you were able to control yourself at a time when the pressure surely had to be crushing?
Honestly, I felt the whole week like if it felt like it was my week, and I had a lot of belief in the processes that I had last week, and just the technique stuff that I'd been working on, and I saw the results. So I felt that whatever this round is gonna throw at me, I can handle it. And I got a text from my coach Frederick on the Sunday morning saying, "Hey, you've been doing so great, whatever, whatever. Just know that it's not going to be smooth sailing today. It's a US Open and you're leading, and just be prepared for that. And you know, do do what you always do, and stay aggressive." Um, and then obviously my caddy Jeff did a great job. He was so good at, staying staying like normal. I couldn't tell that we were leading because I wasn't looking at the leaderboards until the 17th. And then, yeah, the only time I felt like he was acting a little different was on the layup on 17 when, I wanted to push it further up, and he goes, "No, we're hitting 100 yards." And "Why are we hitting it 100 yards? I can get it up there." And he goes, "We're hitting it 100 yards, okay?" Um, kind of. Then I thought, okay, okay, I think we got this. But he was so great through the whole last round, and I feel super comfortable.
When you talk about, I'll phrase it as, it's the final round of the US Women's Open, and you're going to have these situations, call it adversity, if you please. Uh, could you be specific for us, aside from the story you just told us about 17, but could you be specific about when you felt something like that? And do you use in these techniques and processes that you're referring to, Maya, is it breathing? Is it some type of visualization? But how did you make sure you kept yourself on the rails?
It's a lot of breathing stuff that I worked on with my mental coach, but I also go in with just knowing that if I try to get rid of my nerves, they're gonna stay forever. So I just try to accept them and just think, okay, but what is my task right now? And it was kind of feel nervous, especially over like the second shot on one. It's not. it's
Hmm.
not that comfortable, you know. Earlier this year I've struggled with this just straight left pull with my longer irons, and I really didn't want to go in the water there. And so I had this kind of trigger that I would use when I was feeling really nervous and wanted to, you know, just hit and get rid of it, the feeling. So, but then I said, okay, what do I have to do right now to make myself proud? Okay, I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to hover the club, swing it a little bit slower, and just keep my eye on the ball until I hit it. And when I did that, the nerves went away because I was keeping my mind occupied on something else.
And were you able to use that same technique with the putter? Because your weight on the greens, your lag putting in particular, were exceptional in situations where we saw many players from the rest of the field struggling.
I think that at US Opens, I practice more putting before the tournament even starts because I know that it's going to be faster than usual. And I think on my first couple of days, I had some problems with my lag putting. But then on the weekend, I just started thinking, okay, but what usually works with my lag putting? I'm supposed to just try to feel it, just visualize and hover the putter above the ground, and then just try to feel it and look straight down at the ground until after I hit the ball, because then I felt like I'm not forcing it to go forward. I'm not thinking too much. I'm just letting the body do what it already knows because I've practiced greens already.
Amazing. And it's also amazing too, Maya, to talk to you now where you have reached a pinnacle of your competitive days. I want to take you back to, I mentioned when you were on with us last time, this is what you told me then about being on the European Solheim Cup team.
Oh, for sure. Um, Hitting shots like that in such critical moments when you're not just playing for yourself, when you feel like you want to do it for your team, not just for Sweden, like we used to do in European team championships and stuff, or at college. This was way different because it's just one team against another, so you'll have way more people rooting for you, and they will be way louder than you're used to. Um, yeah, it just became a whole different thing, and especially with my putting, I noticed a huge difference because I think I just focused on making the putts and not anything else because um, technique, whatever it was just irrelevant. So I saw a huge improvement in my putting during that week, and I've been trying to um, pick out what was different that week compared to normal tournament weeks.
So Maya, how much do you think in retrospect now, hearing those words, how much did your experience of the Solheim Cup team lead to this victory at the US Women's Open?
I think that it prepared me with the nerves for sure, because in 23 I was super nervous on the first three holes and the first day, and then I just thought, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep playing scared. I just have to go for it because if I have 4 or 3 days of feeling so nervous over every shot, I thought I'm not going to enjoy it. I'm not going to play well. So I think that was kind of the first time that I felt extremely nervous, and then I realized that nervousness doesn't help at all. With the putting thing, uh, my technique was obviously very different back then. It's out that I had a putter that just didn't suit me at all. So I've learned a lot since then.
How does this US Women's Open victory, Maya, change your self perception, or is it a validation of what within you you've always known?
I think that it was really important for me um to just know that it's not gonna look perfect, and winning does require a little bit of luck because I had some lucky bounces. Um, and I think that just knowing that I can win and feel like I'm in control. Like it's not just luck. And it's not just that I had a good iron week, whatever. It's because I worked on it and I did my process as well, and that's why I won. You know, winning isn't something that happens because you play well. You play well because you do have good processes, and you just hope that you do that better than other people that week so that you do end up winning. But that winning it wasn't my focus. I just felt like telling myself that I can, and that I, have the skills to do it, and then it happened.
I'm going to ask you about your sponsors in just a second. And as you recall from last time you were with us, we do that to say thank you to you so that you can say thank you to people that back you along the way. But before I do that, I want to ask you a question that kind of, you've mentioned it a few times about the expectation that you had emotionally, competitively, that mistakes will happen, that everything's not going to be perfect. Have you always allowed yourself that kind of grace, or was that something that kind of matured into your person and game?
No, I've been very hard on myself. I think since turning pro, it felt like I was I was pretty okay. I was pretty nice to myself when I was an AM, but then as soon as I turned pro and everything, got elevated, and all of a sudden you need to play well to, survive on tour. It just felt like everything just felt more, or it felt like it mattered more. So, but I think that as long as I try my hardest and do my processes, I'm gonna be happy. And then if I don't have the technique that week, if stuff I need to work on, then I can still be happy that I did everything I could, but my swing just isn't there yet. And sometimes that's just the reality. Um, so yeah, I think that um, this week I was lucky that my swing was there and I could trust it. Um, yeah.
It's amazing stuff. Absolutely amazing. So I'm going to weave this last question into one in deference to your time. One is your interest in charity, in giving back, which you've stated before, and then two, let's go down the road of your sponsors.
Yeah. My sponsors are Ping, Nike, and Titleist, and I'm so grateful for them. It feels like the coolest trio to have. Um, but yeah, I do want to. I have had a goal since I turned pro, because to donate dollars to charity at some point in my career, because I thought I don't just want to do this for myself because I've gotten so much help through the years, and it just motivates me to go out there and practice more, because I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing it to win tournaments, and if I can give back in any way, I'll be happy about that.
Maja, we are super, super proud of you. A deep congratulations. You're a credit to your name, you're a credit to your profession, and long may your success continue. And we thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Good to see you. All right, folks, when we come back at the Fairways of Life show, we're going to continue down the pathway that I mentioned to you just a few minutes ago, which includes hearing from Scottie Scheffler, which includes hearing from Jack Nicklaus, and mostly, I think, it provides us with more of what we just had, a glimpse inside of the mind of a major champion. And the cases of those who I was just talking about, you're talking about Scottie Scheffler, who just won his third, and Jack Nicklaus, who did it 18 times. Remember, he was second another 19 times in major championships. It's mind-blowing when you think about the significance, excuse me, of all of that. And we want to remind everybody, benhogangolf.com is where you can log on to see the iconic equipment that is available from the new Ben Hogan Golf Equipment Company, the same lineage of love and passion for the game of golf that goes all the way back to the company's founding in 1953 by none other than that man right there. I know how much you'd love to have Ben Hogan Golf Equipment in your bag, and now you can get it directly from the Ben Hogan Company. benhogangolf.com for more information. When we come back, more of the Fairways of Life show as we broadcast to you live today from just outside of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Head down, water down the left, bunker down the right, take the club straight back.
Wandering minds. When golfers lose their focus, they're totally... But Bridgestone can help. Introducing Mindset. The ball's scientifically designed to keep you focused.
First, identify your target.
Next, visualize your shot path.
And then focus on the green dot and smooth one.
Play the Tour B and E12 with Mindset technology.
You see what happens when we work together? Stuff like that.
FlightScope Mevo Plus is the ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch monitor and simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at flightscope.com.
Innovation has been at the heart of every SuperStroke grip we've ever created, cementing our status as the #1 putting grip on tour. Now the best just got better. Introducing SuperStroke Synergy, our most advanced putting grips ever, for unmatched confidence to quiet your hands and your mind. Find the perfect grip for your game at superstrokeusa.com.
Our journey began with a simple yet powerful vision to provide the world with the highest quality Virginia-type peanuts. The Hubbard Peanut Company, where quality and tradition meet to create an unforgettable experience. Visit hubspeanuts.com to explore our full range of products and place your order today.
Middle market businesses are facing unprecedented shifts, which demand tailored solutions and decisive action. RSM stands as the unwavering leader of the middle market, empowering you to take charge of change and conquer this era of transformation. RSM, experience the power of being understood.
I don't know. I mean, this is obviously I played this event when I was 14 years old, so maybe a little bit more emotional about it, but I mean, definitely have gotten my heart broken a couple of times, especially last year with coming off the season I was coming off of, and to have that showing last year definitely put a dagger into my heart, but that's just golf. I mean, you're going to lose more than you win majority of the time, and I feel like I actually learn a lot about myself and my game and where I need to improve playing the U.S. Women's Open, because it does test every part of your game. So maybe just a little bit of disappointment when, like, obviously golfers, a lot of us are perfectionists, so when we come out here and a golf course dominates you sometimes the way it does, it's never a nice feeling, but it's also super motivating. So yeah, it's definitely motivating to see where my game's at, but hopefully I can continue trending in the right direction for a long season ahead. Obviously, I mean, I'll have hopefully a lot more attempts, but when you come so close and you kind of feel that adrenaline coming down 18, the one thing that you want to do is hold the trophy at the end of the day, and I'm not, so, but it's okay. I'll have more opportunities, hopefully.
Pretty interesting stuff there from Nelly as well. I wanted to make sure we got that in, and I wanted to get it in as close as we could to having Maja on the show, because, you know, watching it unfold, a few thoughts in retrospect on the U.S. Women's Open. Watching it unfold and watching Nelly down the stretch, didn't you feel like Nelly was going to run down Maja, who's trying to win her first major championship? That's natural in events of this stature, right? But Maja was the one that held her nerve, and then Nelly went a little sideways at the end there. So I thought that was interesting. Another thought that went through my head was when we just came back from that break and Andrew put the picture up there of Erin Hills, this time at Erin Hills, right? And I mean this because I was talking about this yesterday at Golf's Longest Day, and I was talking about it with a couple of veteran tour pros, in that the first time that the U.S. Open was there, back when Brooks won it in 2017, I think people are trying to get to know Erin Hills. I think there is a lot of, I'll call it negativity to new venues for the national championship. This time, it kind of felt like we were revisiting a place that we had come to know somewhat. And I thought maybe it was the time of year, maybe it was the way that they had it exceptionally set up, that the course looked and felt and actually played like the inland links that I think they wanted to. That was the sense that I had in watching it. And in particular, on Sunday, watching the way Maja was carving tee shots in particular, where she deliberately landed them in the rough to let them carry them off the mounding back into the fairway, was absolutely brilliant. So I don't know, this time around, admittedly, the first time that the U.S. Open was there, we were there and saw the course and all the rest. If a course is exceptional, I always get this feeling like I want to be back here and play it with my friends. I'm sure you guys get the same sense when you're taking it in. And I didn't have it as much in 17 for whatever reason, but after this U.S. Women's Open, I did have that sense of, wow, this seems like a golf course that you'd want to play, to give it a shot and see just what it's like. And I think it underscores just how exceptional the victory was by Maja. Another thing that she said, which I thought was fascinating, did you catch the part where she just told us that she really wasn't paying attention to the leaderboards until the 17th hole? Think about that for a second. So after Scottie won at the Memorial, he and Jack Nicklaus are doing a joint press conference, and they address directly the prospect of whether they are or are not, or in Jack's case, were or was not, a scoreboard watcher.
No, it was a great week. It's always special being able to come here and play Mr. Nicklaus's tournament, and the golf course was a great test this week. The rough was as healthy as I'd seen it. We've had that length of rough before, but not the thickness. I mean, it was pretty nasty, and it was a good challenge, and it's definitely fun to be sitting here.
Scottie's right about the rough. The rough was, we had a wet spring. You're going to find the same rough at Oakmont. I mean, it's the same grass, it'll be the same thing all through the whole Midwest. And, I think we were lucky to get through the week with some of the weather we had and some of the odd conditions. And, but what it did is created a different condition every day. We didn't have 2 days alike. And, your champion is the one who manages all those conditions. And Scottie managed them. Scottie didn't play, for him, spectacular golf. He played what he should do. He played good, solid, smart golf. And, 370s and a 68, that's pretty good golf under the conditions that were out there. And, that's what the best player in the world does. He comes out and does things the right way and manages it. And he sees who's on the leaderboard and who's challenging him. And I'm sure you play. You watch the leaderboard, don't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to know who's out there. You got to know what they're doing. You got to know what you have to do. And he did. We're so proud to have Scottie not only as a champion last year, but again this year. We're very happy for him too. Obviously very happy for him.
The thing about leaderboard watching is sometimes I think it's harder to not look at the leaderboard than it is to look at it. I mean, the leaderboards are right there on the golf course, and I think it'd be more of a challenge for me not to look at them, and so that would be almost more of a distracting thing. So it's kind of nice to have an understanding of where guys are at on the leaderboard, and it's not going to change the way I play unless, like I said, I'm 5 shots back on the back nine. I might change a line or two going into some pins, but overall, I mean, when you're looking at a 72-hole tournament, if I'm thinking properly and hitting the correct shots, I should have a decent chance there on Sunday. And so when it comes to playing a tournament, I try and bring the same level of intensity to Thursday as you do Sunday. And so when you come out here late on Sunday, nothing really changes for me because I try to bring that intensity to the first tee on Thursday.
All right, take a look at this. This is a graphic that Andrew put together on the accomplishments of Scottie Scheffler so far in his career. And I'm using this as a pretext to what you're going to hear from Scottie and Jack Nicklaus in just a moment about killer instincts of champions. Scottie Scheffler, for those of you that are listening to us on the radio side, is a 3-time major champion. He's won the Masters, of course, twice in 22 and 24. He just won the PGA Championship. He was the Olympic gold medalist in 2024. That was at the Paris Games. 16 PGA Tour wins now to his credit. He's represented the United States twice on the Ryder Cup team. He's represented the United States twice as part of the President's Cup team. FedEx Cup champion in 2024, 3-time PGA Tour Player of the Year, and of course, he's number 1 in the official World Golf Rankings. So from there, we go back to these two champions talking about the elusive, the killer instinct.
Great players are ones who rise to the occasion and ones who know how to play coming down the stretch in important events. And, you know, looking at the leaderboard today, he didn't have, I mean, Ben Griffin's a nice player. Sepp Straka is a nice player. Nick Taylor's a nice player. Those are all the guys that were there basically coming down the stretch. But he knows that those guys, you know, are not in his league. Now, if he'd have had, I don't know who else it might have been, but if somebody else at the top, or Xander or somebody like that would have been there, he might have said, well, that might be a little tougher. I might have to do something different. He didn't have to. And I think I just asked Scottie if he watched the leaderboard. He says, yeah, I do. I said, well, I did too. I always watched the leaderboard and found out what my competition was. And I always felt like what level I had to play to fight that competition off. And sometimes you didn't have to fight it off because you knew they'd self-destruct. And so, you know, so you just don't make dumb mistakes and play solid golf and you win. And, you know, he is such a good player. And he drove the ball beautifully today. Like he said, he drove the ball, but he never put himself in jeopardy. He didn't put himself in a position to lose the golf tournament. He was always in a position to win. And if he had to do something more spectacular, he was in a position to do so. But he didn't have to. So you don't take any chances to do that.
Just curious on maybe a level 1 to 10, what is your level of competitive killer instinct?
I mean, I have no idea.
He didn't need any. No, seriously, he doesn't. I mean, he's enough. I'll answer for you. You're enough of a competitor, and you're a good competitor that he'll compete to what he has to do. I mean, he doesn't want to tell you. He wouldn't want to brag about what he does, but he has the ability to bring his level to whatever level it needs to be. That's what good players do. And you know, he's not good players; he's great players. I mean, look at the record that he has had the last few years. It's unbelievable.
Think about that for a second. You've got Jack Nicklaus speaking for you, speaking about how you are a great player and how great players do whatever they have to do. It's mind-blowing. We're going to continue down this road from hearing from the greats as the Fairways of Life show continues after this. Play great. Play your best golf. Check out Newton Golf Shafts because NewtonGolfCo.com is a website you can log on to for all the same. They have an elongated weight profile. That means that as you get the club to the back of your backswing, you may, for the first time in your golfing career, feel what's called load. And that load is that pent-up energy as you bring it slamming down into the back of the ball and hitting some of the best drives you've ever hit. You may not need to spend the money on a new driver. Maybe it's just about making sure that you have the right shaft. And why not get a shaft that's right for your swing, regardless of your playing ability, and has all this technology made right here in the USA to allow you to play your very, very best. There's nothing else in the marketplace like these Newton Golf Shafts. They're having massive success for a reason. NewtonGolfCo.com. Back with more of the Fairways of Life right after this.
In Ireland, golf is more than just a game. Come and experience our world-famous links courses and our world-famous Parkland courses, all set alongside world-famous scenery. And visit our world-famous historic sites. And while you're here, enjoy our world-famous hospitality. Fill your heart with Ireland at ireland.com/golf.
Ben Hogan Golf Equipment is back. Established in 1953, we serve golfers who demand excellence of their equipment. Designed by the game's best engineers, forged in the world's best foundries, and built to order in the USA. Don't settle for off-the-rack disappointment. Elevate your game with custom clubs at direct-to-consumer pricing. Exclusively at benhogangolf.com. That's benhogangolf.com.
Golf season is back, baby. Play the best rounds of your life with PXG.
I feel like dancing. I feel like dancing.
Visit pxg.com to see what we can do for your game.
I'm feeling groovy, so groovy.
PXG, you've never played like this before.
Innovation has been at the heart of every SuperStroke grip we've ever created, cementing our status as the #1 putting grip on tour. Now the best just got better. Introducing SuperStroke Synergy, our most advanced putting grips ever, for unmatched confidence to quiet your hands and your mind. Find the perfect grip for your game at superstrokeusa.com.
What would your ultimate golf experience be like? Just you and a friend? Or would you round up some buddies for a foursome? Just one day? Or an entire week? There's a good chance your ultimate golf experience could be Michigan's magnificent 10. 10 incredible courses set among 3 remarkable resorts. See for yourself. Book your ultimate golf experience today.
Hey, I'm golf broadcaster Matt Adams. You know, Hub's Peanuts has been cooking up the top 1% of peanuts for over 70 years. And these aren't your average nut. These are super extra large Virginia peanuts cooked in the USA. Family-owned Hub's Peanuts have more protein than any other nuts. So whether it's a boost on the course or a special gift, the variety of flavors guarantees Hub's Peanuts is just what you need. Family-owned, nutritious, delicious, and sustainable. Hub's Peanuts, it's just right. HubsPeanuts.com.
When you choose Newton shafts, you're choosing more than a product. You're choosing innovation, pride, and excellence right here in America. We pay attention to the minutest of details, and you can feel that in the performance of our shafts.
As we welcome you back to the PXG Custom Studios, you have never played like this before. Log on to pxg.com for more information. So you heard me talking to Maja earlier in the show. This is a player that has broken through, just won their first major championship, did it in a very impressive style, stayed resolute, stayed stoic throughout everything that was being thrown at her. And as I mentioned, you expect in such a circumstance that the great ones will assert themselves and those who are trying to hold on for win will start to get wobbly at some point. She didn't do that. In fact, it was the complete opposite. So going back to the conversations that we're hearing from the two great champions of Scottie Scheffler and Jack Nicklaus in the wake of Scottie defending at the Memorial and what has now suddenly turned into a season kind of on the search by the standards we were expecting from last year of Scottie Scheffler to one up being very much on the ascent and being just around the corner from the U.S. Open on the men's side. Can you discount Scottie Scheffler now at all? Or is he definitely and definitively, if not the favorite, one of the top 2 or 3 favorites at the very, very least? So Jack and Scottie were asked about when did Scottie believe that he could be this dominant?
I don't really think about that stuff, to be honest with you. I treat each tournament individually, and every tournament's different, and I try to do my best to come out here and compete, and that's what I love to do. I love being able to play the PGA Tour, and I love being able to compete against the best players in the world and play on great golf courses like this one, and be able to play in these legacy tournaments like Mr. Palmer's tournament, Mr. Nicklaus's tournament. It's really hard to put into words what it's like sitting up here with arguably the greatest player of all time, and we're sitting here talking about stuff that I did today on his golf course. It's a pretty weird feeling. It is. You know, I came here when I was in college. My dad and I, you know, I would play in the U.S. Open qualifier, and we would come here sometimes for the tournament. You know, I can't remember if it was usually before or after, but I think we would maybe come in on Friday or Saturday for the Monday tournament and come out and watch, you know, the tournament out here. And I always just dreamed of playing these tournaments. I never think about dominating. That's a waste of time for me to think about that kind of stuff. I'm just trying to be the best that I can be and work hard and use the gifts that I have for good. And that's pretty much it.
If he is thinking about being the best and starts believing he's the best, pretty soon he starts scratching his ears out here like this, and that's death. So once you start getting a big head and you believe you're too good, then you will get beat. As long as you keep trying to play well, climb a mountain, try to feel like he's trying to get better, trying to be smart, being consistent, and playing what he thinks is the best golf he can play at that particular time, that's when you play well. Not when you're sitting there saying, oh, I'm really this good, I can do that. No. I never thought that one time when I played. I always felt like, hey, you know, I got 144 guys or whatever it might be out there to play. I've got to play well to beat them. Once I got myself in a position, then, you know, to win, then you got to be smart about how you finish it. And that's the way he's playing. He reminds me so much of the way I like to play. And, you know, I don't think I played nearly as well as he played. He's played better than I played and more consistent. He's just been playing fantastic. And I love watching him play. And whether it's here or on television or whatever it is, I love watching. Anytime he's playing, I want to watch.
Scottie just mentioned it, but when you sit back for a moment and you consider what we're listening to right now, what we're watching, and you've got Jack Nicklaus talking about a player that's playing great right now in Scottie Scheffler. And I think most of us believe that Scottie Scheffler is capable of continuing his ascent, if for no other reason than what they were just talking about, where Scottie seems unaffected. It doesn't appear as though Scottie's self-image has been altered by the success that he's having on the golf course, which would suggest that that's a bridge that he'll continue to cross in terms of the success that he will continue to have, because he's not being consumed by that success or by that moment. That's how I interpret what Mr. Nicklaus was just talking about. And it's funny because I mentioned to you that yesterday at Golf's Longest Day, which I'll talk about in the next segment, someone I want to go over with you who actually got in and where we stand with that, as it's a very critically important day and a fun day too. But I had a chance to talk with a lot of people, and we got into this conversation. And these are tour players. These are people that have won on the PGA Tour. We got into this conversation about Jack Nicklaus, and that as Mr. Nicklaus stopped playing and got into his late 50s. Remember, at 58, he still was a factor in the Masters, still was a factor in the U.S. Open. Think about that in the late 90s. But as he got into his 60s and beyond, he kind of became this grandfatherly Jack Nicklaus. And he's always been very, very good at ensuring that he pays respect to whoever's current. Right? In that case, the dominant player was Tiger Woods. And the discussion about the argument, if you please, about who's the best player of all time comes down to two players right now. It's either Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, or Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods. And because of the nature of, call it the Tiger machine, if you will, over this period of time, which is now 25, 30 years that I'm talking about, Jack Nicklaus, I think, has been overshadowed by Tiger because Tiger's current. Right. And I'm not trying to debate with you which one of those positions, first or second or first, that you want to put each one respectively. I'm just saying that when you have something happening right before your eyes, it's natural that that's a thing that you focus on. And in so doing, sometimes you forget the significance of what came before it. The fact that we have Mr. Nicklaus here with us, sitting with Scottie Scheffler in this case, and we get to hear from him and his thoughts. And I would encourage you that if you have any curiosity about what I'm talking about, just go online and do some research into what Mr. Nicklaus accomplished. And it is absolutely stunning, absolutely amazing. Part of that is this understanding that when you look at some great players and some current great players, it almost seems like Thursday is a practice round. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I mean it from the standpoint that it's a warm-up round, and then they come charging from the end. And many times they close from the end because they have such immense talent. Well, Scottie Scheffler and Jack Nicklaus spoke about, I'll call it, Thursday intensity.
Yeah, I never worried about putting. I felt I would make my percentage. I didn't need to. If I knocked it close to the holes, I'd knock some of them in. I didn't worry about if I missed some. You missed some. You missed some today. You missed some yesterday. You missed some all week. But you made a lot too. He gave himself enough chances that he didn't have to be special with a putter, just to be good solid with it.
Yeah, I think the way I look at tournaments is, 72 holes is a lot of golf. And early in my career, I felt like I didn't bring enough intensity to the first couple rounds. Like, I would bring a lot of intensity on Saturday and Sunday, but I was always kind of on the outside looking in when it came to leaderboards. And that's one thing that Tiger, I think, was really good at was bringing that level of intensity to each and every shot. I mean, I've never seen
Thursday.
Hungry.
Started the tournament with it.
Yeah,
He was really good at it.
And that's something I've always tried to emulate. I never got to play with Mr. Nicklaus, but I'd assume that was probably a pretty similar thought process that he brought to each round. I mean, if you're going to play 72 holes, I mean, how many shots did he hit this week? 278?
278.
278. I mean, that's a lot of shots. And I mean,
and the first 70 better be good ones too, right?
Yeah, the first 70 matter as much as the last one. And
that's right.
I mean, each tournament week feels like a marathon, especially when you're playing a difficult golf course like this. And so it's more important to just stay in the proper headspace and try and hit shots and kind of go from there.
The reason why we chose these cuts is because of the sense that you have that Scottie Scheffler and Jack Nicklaus almost seem like they're sitting at a table having a conversation and we're just in the other chair. That's the epitome of the type of sound that we love to share with you. Here's Scottie Scheffler's stretch, his last 32 events. Just let this breathe for a second. 11 wins, including 2 majors, a gold medal, a Players, a Tour Championship, and a FedEx Cup. That's just the last 32 events. That's why you didn't see the 2 players on there. 26 top 10s. In 2025 so far, 12 events, 3 wins, a major championship, and 9 top 10s. And that's with an admittedly slow start to 2025 after he had the injury with the wine glass that broke and cut his hand at Christmas. In 2024, he played 20 events. He had 8 wins, a major championship, and 17 top 10s. Incredibly impressive. All right, more of the Fairways of Life show, folks, coming up right after this.
I got ball fit in 2000, went on a little run. Then Bridgestone fit me again, and I went on another run. I just got fit again for the new Tour BX. The ball fitting's been helping me. Will it help you?
What does it take to be an original?
Cam knows something about that. So does Chi-Chi, Charlie, and you get it. In 1955, we stepped onto the scene. Now a new generation of pros are wearing the most iconic styles in the game. The fit, the feel, the look. It's all an expression of you. Original Penguin. Here for the good times.
Innovation has been at the heart of every SuperStroke grip we've ever created, cementing our status as the #1 putting grip on tour. Now the best just got better. Introducing SuperStroke Synergy, our most advanced putting grips ever, for unmatched confidence to quiet your hands and your mind. Find the perfect grip for your game at superstrokeusa.com.
Independent tester Golf Ball Addict tested 100 of the best golf balls available and ranked PXG's 2 tour balls at #1 and #2, each scoring a 10 of 10 in performance, a 10 of 10 in durability, and a 10 of 10 in value. So what are you waiting for? Visit PXG.com or a PXG location near you to pick up your PXG Extreme Tour or Extreme Tour X golf balls for only $34.99 a dozen. PXG, you've never played like this before.
FlightScope Mevo Plus is the ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch monitor and simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at flightscope.com.
When you choose Newton shafts, you're choosing more than a product. You're choosing innovation, pride, and excellence right here in America. We pay attention to the minutest of details, and you can feel that in the performance of our shafts.
Time now for Did You Know? This segment is presented by FlightScope. Know your distance, your data, your gapping. FlightScope's new i4 rangefinder with personalized club recommendations makes it easy. Did you know that Maja Stark's U.S. Open victory was rarer than you think? This was the 80th playing of the U.S. Women's Open, but she was only the 6th European to hoist the trophy. As you can see from this graphic, ironically, she was also only the 6th Swedish player to collect a major championship during the period, only the 3rd player from Sweden to win the U.S. Women's Open. And there you can see the accolades of her as well. It's also very rare that you can have your numbers right where you are playing at home. All you need to do, dial in your yardages, is the new i4 rangefinder. Make it easy. Make it happen with FlightScope. All right, so it's been a really cool day today, getting a chance to review all of the things that took place over the course of the past week at its highest tier, that being Maja breaking through at the U.S. Women's Open, that being Scottie defending at the Memorial, and then hearing from both of them in today's show, and then hearing from Jack Nicklaus as well. It was really, really neat. You heard me mention a few times that yesterday was golf's longest day. And to be a part of that broadcast for Golf Channel was amazing. For me, I have to say congratulations to Matt Hagerty, who conceived the concept of putting it on the scale and the stage that it is now on, that all of us who are kind of golf geeks can consume what's happening at all of these various sites. There are over 100 people that were a part of putting that broadcast together from the NBC Sports Golf Channel side, and it was amazing. It was a long day. You probably can tell I'm pretty pooped today, and I'm sure everybody involved is. It's about a 13, 14-hour day from stem to stern when it's all said and done. I'm sure the players are even more tired than that. Here you can see who got through, respectively. You can see Eric Van Rooyen in Columbus, Ohio, and quite a few tour players coming out of that, as you would expect because of its proximity. In Atlanta, can you imagine Mason at the top of that one, the medalist, co-medalist, and an amateur at that. In Maryland, again, you can just kind of breeze through these boards and see perhaps players that are your favorite. I was, of course, at Duke University, and thank you to Duke University Golf Course for being so incredibly accommodating to us. Ed and all of his staff, he's the GM and the director of golf there, was incredible to us. And what I thought was really cool, I even ended the broadcast talking about this, was that at Duke, 6 of the 7 played in the Korn Ferry Tour event the week before. 6 of the 7, and 6 of those 7s are Korn Ferry Tour members, which to me only proves that form matters, knowledge that you get from kind of the topography of where you're playing, grass types, etc. All of that matters. Patience matters, because each one of those players told me later on that patience was part of their arsenal in finishing inside the number to get to the U.S. Open. And so if you're going to employ patience, letting the course come to you and taking advantage of opportunity when it presents itself, sounds like a pretty good formula for Oakmont too. There's Canoebrook from Summit, New Jersey. Below that, California, Valencia. You can see Preston Summerhays, another amateur, as the medalist there. They're going to have a playoff coming up for the last spot up in Canada, because the RBC is this week. Pretty good field there, too, of tour players, and it's reflected in the names that got through. In Springfield, Ohio, you can see Zach Blair was able to make the mark. and then in Walla Walla, Washington, with a couple of spots there too. Dominic is sitting with me inside of this studio. So Dom, thanks for letting us come in and invade your space today. This is a studio that Fairways of Life keeps in the Raleigh, North Carolina area as well. Very accommodating, very nice. That's and convenient, wasn't it? That I was able to do Golf's Longest Day and then shoot over here today and use your studio. So thank you for that, Mr. Dom.
Yeah, this is great. I got shoved out of my space. Now I'm in the corner of my studio. Thanks for that. It's fantastic.
Well, it all worked out very, very well, and we thank you for it. So we're excited about everything that lies in store, not only this week, but kind of building towards the U.S. Open and Oakmont. And I realize that that's something that's, acutely on everybody's mind right now because it sits just around the corner. With that, Dom, I don't know what your question of the day was, but if you guys log on to the Fairways of Life YouTube channel, you can always vote on Dom's question of the day. Did you have one today, and was it related to the U.S. Women's Open? What'd you do?
And I know we only have about 40 seconds left, but it is telling based on our conversation today. Will Scottie Scheffler win one or both of the remaining major championships, yes or no? 74% are saying yes. One person for sure will win one of the next two majors. That's the level he's playing at right now.
Amazing. It's amazing because when I hear that, my instinct would say that of those two, that the most likely for Scottie Scheffler will be Oakmont, believe it or not, because he's got the combination and he's got the ball striking, and that Oakmont's always about putting as well, and he's got that working better than he has in years. But I still have the sense that Rory is going to do something special at Royal Portrush at the Open. So thank you to all of you for joining us today. Thank you to Maya. Great to hear from Scottie and from Mr. Nicholas. Always great to hear from you guys voting on that question of the day. Bye for now.